Call the meeting to order. The agenda, Oromocto Town Council and regular session, Thursday, the 22nd of January, 2026, at 5:30 p.m. at the Oromocto Municipal Building. I'll call for a mover for approval of the agenda. Deputy Mayor Mulvaney, seconder, Councillor Carr. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Is there any disclosure of interest or conflict of interest? None? Okay, perfect. We'll move down to the mayor comments, and I don't have a whole lot today. It's just that January is moving through quickly, and there's another 4 months before the next election for council. So we have to get our wheels going and put it in place, and I'm the worst one. So I'm the one that's got to get the car in motion here. And I want to mention the weather. It's been up and down. 1 week it rains and next week it snows, and the outdoor rinks. They put ice down again this year, or like I went over today and it's all smoothed out, but hopefully it'll be up and going. So, but the kids are sliding on the hills and having a ball. So that's all I have.
Should have no risk of melting this weekend.
This weekend. So we'll move on to the adoption of the minutes of the regular session of the Oromocto Town Council meeting on December 18th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. at the Oromocto Municipal Building. I'll call for a mover, Councillor Daw, a seconder, Councillor Henry. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. There's no petitions, presentation to delegations, so we'll move down to councillor reports. And we'll have Councillor Daw with the Oromocto Area Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Worship. The Oromocto Area Chamber of Commerce met on January the 14th in the C room. And our first order of business was the annual general meeting, because we had a change of date. We are now going from January to December for our calendar year. And the financial report and operating budget was presented, along with the presentation of the 2026 slate of officers and the year in review and highlights. Our next AGM will be January the 13th, 2027.
January 13th.
The regular monthly board meeting, just a few items, getting our membership out by auto invoices. Membership's $125 for the year, and just a very few have been being sent in the mail, need to be mailed out. And the Business Awards dinner is definitely set and confirmed for May 7th at the Hasten Center, but more details will follow. And a request for the board members to send in their bios so that we can update and share on the website and in our chamber newsletters. And this morning we had a presentation by Tim Rose from CBDC, an excellent presentation. And he's from CBDC Southwest, and he gave a presentation on the programs and services that they have to offer entrepreneurs and existing small businesses. Quite informative, very engaging. And the next meeting will be February the 11th for the chamber.
Perfect. Thank you. We'll move on to the Capital Region Service Commission, and I only have one thing, and that's we met on January 14th at 12 p.m. in Fredericton to discuss the emergency measure plans. Each community is supposed to have one, and there's some communities still don't have one. So what had happened is the commission, they engaged Gemtech to develop a standardized emergency measure plan at a price of $5,214.28, but it was budgeted last year, so the money is coming out of last year's budget. So that's the only thing I have. All right, we move down to 8, the consideration of bylaws. We'll start with second reading of its entirety, a bylaw 517-A, a bylaw to amend a bylaw establishing control of animals in the town of Oromocto. CEO has it.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this is second reading in its entirety of bylaw 517-A, a bylaw to amend a bylaw establishing control of animals in the town of Oromocto. The council of town of Oromocto, under authority vested in it by section 10(1)(k) of the Local Governance Act, and acts as follows. Section 5, general subsection 2 of bylaw 517 to be repealed and replaced with the following new subsection 2. Animals seized for running at large or otherwise in violation of this bylaw will be impounded for up to 3 working days, after which, if not reclaimed, become property of the shelter. Read second time in its entirety, 22 January 2026.
I'll call for a mover. The Councillor Von Richter, seconder, Councillor Carr. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move to 8B, the third reading by title only for enactment of bylaw 517-A, a bylaw to amend a bylaw establishing control of animals in the town of Oromocto. CEO.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is the bylaw 5, reading of bylaw 517A, a bylaw to amend a bylaw establishing control of animals in the town of Oromocto. Read third time by title only for enactment, 22 January 2026.
All for a mover. Councillor Kirkbride, seconder, Councillor Murdoch. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move to 8C, the second reading in its entirety, proposed bylaw 540, a bylaw relating to the prevention of fires in the town of Oromocto. CEO.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this is the second reading in its entirety of bylaw 540, a bylaw relating to the prevention of fires in the town of Oromocto. Be it enacted, the Council of Town of Oromocto, under authority vested in it by Local Governance Act, chapter 18 as follows. And I'll read titles. 1, purpose and intent. 2, title. 3, definitions. 4, appointment of fire prevention officers. 5, access to premises. 6, inspection of premises. 7, inspection fees. 8, right of assistance. 9, fire alarm and voice communication systems. 10, standpipe and hose systems. 11, automatic sprinkler systems. 12, fireworks. 13, outside burning. 14, penalties and enforcement. Read second time in its entirety, 22 January 2026.
Call for a mover. Councillor Henry, seconder, Councillor Murdoch. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move to 8D, the third reading by title only for enactment of proposed bylaw 540, a bylaw relating to the prevention of fires in the town of Oromocto. Please go.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this is third reading by title only for enactment of bylaw 540, a bylaw relating to prevention of fires in the town of Oromocto. Read 22 January 2026.
Call for a mover. Councillor Daw, seconder, Councillor Kirkbride. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move to 8E, the second reading in its entirety of proposed bylaw 541, a bylaw relating to the fire department level of service in the town of Oromocto. CEO.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is second reading in its entirety of bylaw 541, a bylaw relating to the fire department level of service in the town of Oromocto. Be it enacted by the Council of the town of Oromocto under authority vested in it by section 186 of Local Governance Act. 1, purpose and intent. 2, title. 3, definitions. Lots of definitions. Organizational service and fire prevention and fire response. Rescue services. Miscellaneous. Read second time in its entirety, 22 January 2026.
Call for a mover. Councillor Henry, seconder, Councillor Von Richter. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move on to 8F, the third reading by title only for enactment of proposed bylaw 541, a bylaw relating to the fire department level of service in the town of Oromocto. CEO.
Thank you, your worship. This is the third reading by title only of bylaw 541, a bylaw related to the fire department level of service in the town of Oromocto, read 22 January 2026.
Call for a mover. Councillor Daw, seconder, Councillor Von Richter, questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. Move to 8G, first reading by title only of proposed bylaw 542, a bylaw respecting the remuneration of the town of Oromocto Council. CEO.
So this is a first reading by title only of proposed bylaw 542, a bylaw respecting the remuneration of the town of Oromocto Council. Read second time or read first time by title only 20 January 2026.
Call for a mover. Councillor Henry, seconder, Councillor Murdoch, questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. Go to the last one, 8H, second reading in its entirety of opposed bylaw 542, a bylaw respecting the remuneration of the town of Oromocto Council. CEO.
Thank you, your worship. This is second reading in its entirety of proposed bylaw 542, a bylaw respecting the remuneration of the town of Oromocto Council. Be it enacted by the council of the municipality of Oromocto under the authority of the Local Governance Act, section 49(1) as follows. 1, title. 2, scope. 3, purpose. 4, remuneration of council. 5, approval of absence. 6, repeal. Read second time in its entirety, 20 January 2026.
Call for a mover, Councillor Daw, seconder, Deputy Mayor Maloney, questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. No unfinished business, so we'll move down to 10, the new business. We'll start with 10A, the employee benefits policy amendment. Councillor Henry.
Be resolved that the employee benefits policy be issued to this review by council on week of 20 January.
Call for a seconder. Councillor Carr, questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. Move down to 10B, the tourism and communications officer hiring with Councillor Von Richter.
Thank you, Worship. Be it resolved that Lainey Dow be hired as tourism communications officer within the Department of Tourism and Recreation effective 12 January 2026. I so move.
Call for seconder. Deputy Mayor Maloney, questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. Move to 10C, the active transportation and trails plan with Councillor Kirkbride.
Thank you, Worship. You've resolved that Trace Planning and Design be awarded the amount of $49,305 CHST for the creation of a new active transportation and trails plan for the town of Oromocto as a new.
Call for a seconder. Councillor Henry, questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. Move to 10D, the Canadian Revenue Agency's director update with Deputy Mayor Maloney.
Thank you, Your Worship. Be it resolved, the Canada Revenue Agency list of directors for the town of Oromocto be updated, effective immediately, to include the following names: Robert Powell, Sherry Mawhinney, Ryan Carr, Lorraine Daw, Raymond Henry, Jeff Kirkbride, Kelly Murdoch, Gary Von Richter, Brad Whalen, John Jackson, John Thompson, Jessica. I so move.
Call for a seconder. Councillor Daw, questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. And the last one, 10E, the TD Bank operating credits with Councillor Daw.
Thank you, Worship. Be it resolved that the town of Oromocto authorizes borrowings with the TD Bank in the amount of $3 million for working capital expenditures and ancillary credit instruments that enable same-day electronic funds transfer and credit card services for point-of-sale purchases effective 15 January 2026. I so move.
Call for seconder. Councillor Kirkbride, questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. Now I'll call mover for adjournment. Quick hands there. Deputy Mayor Maloney, seconder, Councillor Kirkbride, questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried.